the recording and then sharing the screen. And we start with the first slide here. Well, so can you see the full screen slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And now can you see the second slide?
No, ma'am. The screen is
No,
free.
ma'am.
It's not full screen. It's just a small vision. Not the full screen.
Let's try to do the different way. Well, like here. And now, do you see the full screen second slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is
Yes,
test
ma'am.
analysis, right? Do you see test analysis slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So you remember that at the previous class you done the test, the midterm test, and the test was on Moodle site, and let us analyze what we've done and why. So we made some mistakes. So one of the typical mistakes there was to put the steps of the instructions in chronological order from 1 to 5. There were 5 steps here, and we let us focus on the steps about washing your hands and gathering all needed supplies. So I think that it's better to wash your hands before you touch any supplies, the syringe, the needles, all kind of things. So that is why it's better to mark wash your hands step number 1 and gather all needed supplies number 2. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
sometime the needed supplies, like if we take example of a syringe, so the wrapper of syringe is sometime contaminated with some parasite or some infections, we can say that. So ma'am, we need to wash hand after unwrap that syringe, and then we have to wash hand, so that the hands get infected, uninfected. So ma'am,
I see.
that's why we put wash your hand in second number.
Okay, yes, it depends on the situation. If, for example,
Yeah, ma'am.
have you ever done the injection in a hospital? So, I mean, the nurse who does the injection, she just normally just washes her hands before she touches the syringe. And so, yes, it depends on the situation. But here, anyway, if you've marked all the other steps correctly, like 3 correct numbers, corresponding numbers out of 5, so you are given 1 point. So your answer is partially correct, and it's okay. You've got your mark for this question. Well, as for the next question, which was where some students made mistakes. This is the sentence, simvastatin affect the liver, but it not happen in your case. We were speaking about the meaning of the modal verbs can and may. Both of them mean possibility, but when we speak about how strong the possibility is, may expresses a stronger possibility. And here, so the doctor who says this sentence just wants to emphasize that the side effect of the medication is not just 100% possible. That is why it's better to use can here. And he emphasizes that it will not happen in your case. That is why may, which expresses stronger possibility, should be used here in the second part of the sentence. So simvastatin can affect the liver, but it may not happen in your case. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
As for the next, next question. This is the definition which to one of the,
Concordance.
yes, to one of the words here. And it says that it's a process whereby the doctor and the patient cooperate in the prescribing process to maximize the taking of medication. Some of the students marked it like it's a consent, but consent, it's not about prescribing the medication, it's about getting the agreement from the patient to surgery or any other procedures. And here, when we speak about prescribing medication, so this is called concordance, and we've read the article about this. Well, the next slide is deals with when a doctor asks just some instructions. Yes, when the doctor asks a patient to do something for him, and the doctor wants to be polite. Of course, the doctor can say, "I'd like you," and we can use anything here: cough, keep, turn.
Keep still for me.
Yes, but we should pay attention to the structure of the sentence, and we have still, which collocates with the to keep still for me, if you can. So the next slide shows also about the sentence with modal verbs. In some people, the tablets make them feel drowsy, so be careful. They will they will just make you feel drowsy for sure. There's a high possibility. That is why it's better to use may, because the doctor says, so be careful. So it will probably cause feeling drowsy. Well, the next is, yes, this is the task was to decide, is it true or false, correct or incorrect? And the sentence is from the text about the OPS. The time in the procedure and the observer are chosen solely by the trainee during the DOPS, and that was just the exact sentence from the taken from the article. And so the trainee really chooses this everything himself or herself. That is why you should have marked true. Here it's in Russian, just верно, неверно, but in English this is true or false. So it should be true or correct. Well, the next is yes, is vocabulary task. He is overweight due to poor eating. Of course, when we see overweight, the first just association is just to use obesity, which is suggested. One of the options is obesity here. But we should also look at the structure of the sentence. And so overweight or obesity is connected to what? To poor eating, what? Habits, of course. So this is a cause and effect sentence. So the poor eating habits, they cause, they can lead to overweight. Well, and this is the task which focuses on the phrasal verb, the phrasal verb pickup. When we were speaking about the phrasal verbs and different phrasal verbs, you remember that we we were speaking about separable and inseparable phrasal verbs, and here pick up is a phrasal verb which is called separable, which can be separated by a noun or other word which can be used between the verb pick and the particle up. Like here in this sentence, they'll pick John up from the airport. So instead of John, we can use a pronoun, him, like in the last sentence. They'll pick him up from the airport. And you remember that there is a rule that if we replace a noun with a pronoun, the pronoun should be used between the verb and the particle, if the phrasal verb is separable. We can use John in between pick and up, or after pick up, like in sentence B, they'll pick up John. But if it is a pronoun, we should use it between the verb and the particle. That is why, which sentence is incorrect? Which sentence is wrong grammatically?
See, they will pick him,
Yes,
pick up him from the airport.
because the pronoun is here after the phrasal verb, which is wrong. Well, then this is also about the meaning of phrasal verbs. The immune system enables the body to illness. To do what? Fight off illness. Yes. So that is why I was surprised to get up to illness. It's wrong, of course. Then also phrasal verbs to get an illness from someone is to
Pick it up.
pick it up, as we have
Pick
already
it up.
discussed. Then yes, and this is the task which where we need to think about the structure of whether it's active voice or passive voice. So the yes, the verbs, the options are in passive voice and active voice. And here the sentence is she Schwab to clean the wound. And does she do it herself, or does anyone does it with her? She does it herself, right? That is why we need to use we can't use is used, which is passive. We should use or used. But I understand that the student just wants to use the present simple active voice. But if we use present simple and we speak about her or him, we should use S at the end of the verb. It should be she uses a Schwab. That is why it's wrong. And that is why we need to choose another option, used in the past. She used a Schwab. So the next sentence also deals with active passive voice. Normally patients a leaflet about the procedure. Yes, do the patients do this themselves? No, doctors or nurses give them a leaflet. That is why we need to use passive voice. Normally patients are given a leaflet, so passive voice. Then also this is a phrasal verb. If you continue the treatment, your rush should what? Which phrasal verb is better to use here?
Clear up.
Clear up soon.
Clear up, yes. And this example was in one of the sentences from your home assignment. Well, and finally here, the task to comment on abbreviations, to choose the meaning of abbreviations. I was surprised that it was wrong, because so here we had 4 options to choose from. And for example, if you see that 2 abbreviations have the same meaning when required, it, of course it's wrong. So stat. Stat stands for status. Yes,
Immediate.
immediately. Yes.
Yeah.
And OM stands for
In morning, every morning.
morning. In Latin, this is omni mane. Omni mane in the morning. Okay. Well, do you have any more questions about test? No, I see. And if we move to the next slide, we can see, yes, there are some comments on homework, which was also connected with modal verbs for possibility. And so one of the common mistakes which were made by a lot of students is here the use of should in this sentence, in this situation. That was sentence number 3. Where is Anne? I don't know. She, and you suggested to use should be at the swimming pool or in the park. So yes, because there is the possibility is not very strong here. We don't know. The person doesn't know where she is, right? As for the use of should for to express possibility, should is used to express a future possibility, something which will possibly happen in future. For example, Asna should be here before 7:30. She left office at 6 o'clock. So should be here, will be here. So this is the future. And should is also used to talk about past events that did not happen, plus have, plus past participle. Like in the example, you should have asked my permission before using my computer. And this have plus past participle expresses that, emphasizes that the action was in the past. It means it was necessary for you to ask my permission, but you didn't do that. This is about past events. And in our sentence, so we are speaking about present situation. That is why it's better to use can here. And also some comments on sentence number 4. I wonder who wrote that letter. Jim have written it. Well, if we choose could, so it's okay. Yes, could Jim have written it? Could plus it's perfect infinitive, not participle. Perfect infinitive. But some students suggested to use is it possible? If we use is it possible, we use that clause. Is it possible that Jim has written it? And this verb has written, this is the present perfect tense. Do you see? That is why, in our sentence, we should have changed have then. So you didn't change have. That is why it is possible, we can't use this option in this sentence, in this question. It's better to use could. Well, and number 6, he be at school or at home. Also possibility. Can some students offered, well, is coming. Some students also just wanted to use possibly, but if we use possibly, we should change the form of the verb to be.
He would possibly be at school.
Sorry?
He would possibly be at school.
Will possibly be at school or at home. Or if we speak about present, he is possibly.
Yes, ma'am.
He is possibly at school or at home. We can't just leave be in the form of the infinitive here. That is why
Yes,
it's wrong. It's better to use can. And number 7, this work, we can choose 2 options here. This work may be done tomorrow, or this work has to be done tomorrow. So both are possible. So do you have any questions on homework?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
And so today we are going to start unit 6, which is called lifestyle. And let us look at the first set of pictures here. You can see the pictures and the phrases, some statements, and let us think which statement. Let us match the statements and pictures. The first statement, Aman, will you read it?
Yes, ma'am. I can't live without my cigarettes and drink. It represents the C image in which we can see there is a cigarette placed in a glass bowl
Mhm.
and a glass of beer in
Yes.
the right side.
Yes, you're right about this. Well, what about the next statement, Apeksha?
Yes, ma'am. I wish I could stop snacking. This sentence goes with the first diagram where I can see a girl eating French fries and a Coke also while she's working.
Yes, and what is she? What kind of snack is she eating?
It's a fast food, like
Fast food,
not a healthy food. It's a
French
fast
fries.
food.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you know that this is not healthy for your stomach, for your body.
Oh,
Okay.
it's not
Mhm.
healthy.
So, and the next statement, Misha, please.
I feel eating healthy food will help me fight off infection. It goes to the picture B because we can see all the fruits and vegetables, and that helps us to stay healthy.
Exactly. Okay. And well, and if we just go to the next slide, we can see one more set of pictures and statements. Now let us listen to Nivas. The first statement.
When I exercise regularly, I feel healthy. This sentence matches to the picture F.
And where
Where
is
he's
the person in the picture?
he's doing swimming exercise.
Yes, in the swimming pool. Well, then let's listen to Vandana.
Yes, ma'am. I can't see anything wrong with eating fatty food. I've never been sick in my life. It goes with the picture D, where
Mm.
people are having fast food.
And what kind of food are there? So what are they eating?
It's not clear, but I think they're having
Pasta, maybe, right?
yeah, pasta or I'm not
And
Again,
there
sure.
are French fries, sauce,
Mhm.
and hot
again.
dogs,
Chicken nuggets also.
I see.
cheese.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fast food, everything.
Some fatty food, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
not good
and
for stomach and intestines.
yes, but the person just feels okay just eating this food. And the next statement is for Priyesh. What is it about?
Yes, ma'am. I'm worn out and it's making me ill, ma'am. It's E, ma'am. This
And
person.
what is happening in picture E? Where is the person and why?
Ma'am is standing on within a two streets and he's holding a bag and he's really tensed out. He's competent of what he's doing and that's why he's feeling sick and alone. That's why he's holding his bag like this.
Mhm. And this is connected with his job, right?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
tired,
He's
something
mentally
like that.
tired. Yeah.
Okay.
He's-
And yes, thank you. And as for the attitudes of people in these statements, is the attitude positive or negative?
It is actually a negative attitude over here because he's going down.
Yes, in picture E, it's negative.
Yes, ma'am.
In
And for
picture,
the
yes.
first picture F1, the first sentence that is when I exercise regularly, it's a very positive attitude because in the picture we can see the person is aged, but still he is referring exercise as a good mean of staying healthy. So it's a positive attitude.
Okay. And in picture D, is it?
Ma'am, even
Mhm.
though her attitude is healthy, but it's not good for her.
Yes. So the person thinks that
The impacts will be negative.
yes, the attitude is positive to this kind of food, but the impact is negative. You're right. Okay. Well, and so yeah, let us focus on the questions. What are the illnesses the people in these pictures might be predisposed to? What are the
And first one, it will go to obesity.
Mhm. Okay. Only to obesity or
Sometimes they can have ulcers in the stomach or
mm,
digestive tract.
okay. Mm,
Along with obesity and the digestive issues, the person may also suffer from many other physiological issues. Like the person having continuous snacks is a kind of a stress also. Like where there are many people who are stress eaters. Like the
mm,
person is working right now. If maybe he or she may be having any deadline or something in his or her work, so he or she may be stressed. That's the reason why he or she is eating fast food, which is the most easiest thing available in the market.
mhm,
And it might also cause cardiac diseases.
mhm. Okay, and smoking and drinking alcohol also affects what?
It
Liver
basically affect liver and
Mm,
cause
liver
some
fatty,
yeah, ma'am, some
fatty
deadly
liver.
disease like cancer and all.
mhm,
Yeah,
Levels, lung issues can also be other breathing issues,
yeah.
respiratory disorders. The person may be having breathlessness, and many physiological issues along with that, stress.
mhm, mhm,
Etc.
mhm. Okay. So, and is it easy to change people's lifestyle habits? So we say that this is unhealthy, but as a doctor, you should just persuade them to change their habits. Is it easy?
No, ma'am,
No,
it's
No,
ma'am,
not.
ma'am,
it's not
it is not
easy, but,
easy.
Why?
but if they some efforts, it can be changed.
Yes, it's
Ma'am,
possible to change.
Ma'am, it's tough, ma'am. Even if we are knowing about the changes, we don't do it, ma'am, because our body is habitual to a few things. Like if someone is smoking, ma'am, it's tough for him to leave smoking because his body is habitual for the nicotine he's getting from the cigarettes. So
body
he'll
keeps
eventually
reminding.
go and take it, and rather than changing his lifestyle.
Mhm.
Krish, do yoga. Yoga will help
Takes
you.
lot of effort.
And for changing a
Meditation.
lifestyle, a person needs a very strong positive energy in his or her life, like a very big motivation to change.
Mhm.
For example, if I am a constant drinker and I need to change it, then I need a very positive energy that is like maybe for my family or maybe for my friends or maybe for my siblings. Any positive motivation can help the person to change
Yes,
its
okay.
lifestyle. It's a time
Even
consuming
Power.
So
it's a
you mean
time
that
consuming.
Ma'am, strong.
if we try to change our habit, we'll have the withdrawal symptoms, like in case of
Yeah.
drinking and smoking.
Mhm. You are
We
speaking
have
about
to have a very
your
positive thinking about that we have to change ourselves. Otherwise, it's not worth it.
Mhm. You're speaking about personal motivation of people, but and it's hard to change the habits, and even it's also
Even the
hard,
surrounding matters.
yes,
Even if
for
the
the
person
doctor
wants
to
some people.
encourage, to persuade people to change their eating habits or their just lifestyle habits. And what are the best ways for doctors to encourage encourage people to change their lifestyle habits? What should the doctor do?
Ma'am, we can make them aware of the um, benefits as well as
Mhm,
the negative facts about the habits.
mhm, mhm.
Ma'am,
So they
doctor can
should
advise them to eat chewing gum.
To eat, sorry, what?
Chewing gum, chewing
Chewing
to
gum?
remove, like to
Do
remove the
you,
habit of cigarette. People use chewing gum.
does it help? Mhm.
not
I,
really. It's
I don't know,
nicotine,
ma'am.
ma'am. It's nicotine chewing gum. It's
I'm
nicotine
actually, when talking
act
about chewing
Ah,
gum, there, yes, exactly, the nicotine chewing gums. It's
nicotine.
a kind of a, another way, other source for them to get rid of their cigarettes. Good. And one more thing that a doctor can think about is maybe consult their families or bring their friends into the light of
Yes,
this issue
you're right. Mhm.
and make
Most of
them
the people,
aware.
most of the people who are into this, their friends also smoke and smoke like this only.
Yes, and they like
They have
just
a
Exactly.
circle of friends who all smoke.
talking to
The
their friends
surrounding.
smoking. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Now I would like you
Yeah.
to just can we move
Unit
that?
6.
Now I would like you to focus on a listening task here. We are going to listen to 3 conversations and to help patients change their lifestyle is it's important to know something about their family and social history. Otherwise, any encouragement to change may not fit in the patient's lifestyle. And here the doctor is asking several questions about family history or social history of his patients. And let us just listen and mark the conversations, whether it's about family history or social history. I'm going to switch it to turn it on and you'll tell me if you can hear or not.
Unit 6. Listening
Can
1.
hear it.
Here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Unit 6. Listening 1. 1.
What about work? Do you have any problems there?
At the moment, yes. It's a bit stressful.
And can you tell me a bit more about this?
Well, I'd say it started about 2 months back. A colleague resigned and he wasn't replaced, so I'm kind of doing 2 jobs at the moment.
2.
Are your parents still alive and well?
My mother is, but my father died 3 years ago.
Do you know what the cause of death was?
It was lung cancer.
3.
Do you smoke at all?
Yes.
How many do you smoke normally?
I'd say about 20.
When did you start smoking?
I had my first cigarette when I was 15.
15. OK, and have you ever stopped?
Yes, many times.
When was the last time?
I quit last year, but it only lasted a month.
So the first conversation, what kind of history is it about? Family or social?
Social history.
Ma'am, social history.
Because he's speaking about his job. The second conversation,
Ma'am, family
Family
history.
history.
family. So his father died of because of lung cancer.
Yeah, ma'am, lung cancer.
And conversation 3,
Social history.
Personal history.
Ma'am,
why social?
personal history. Social.
Because he is doing smoking 20 times a day, which can be a peer pressure or something.
It's a personal question.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It's a personal question, so I guess it's a family history.
Personal history.
Okay.
I think this one is
she-
social history.
Yes, she interacts with other people, not only inside her family, but also.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's why never smoke with the family members and like.
Yes, and
Unit 6.
move to the next slide. Here we are going to listen to the same conversations one more time, and please write down in note form the questions that the doctor asked in each case. Okay, just take notes. Now let's start.
Unit 6. Listening 1. 1.
What about work? Do you have any problems there?
At the moment, yes. It's a bit stressful.
And can you tell me a bit more about this?
Well, I'd say it started about 2 months back. A colleague resigned and he wasn't replaced, so I'm kind of doing 2 jobs at the moment.
2.
Are your parents still alive and well?
My mother is, but my father died 3 years ago.
Do you know what the cause of death was?
It was lung cancer.
3.
Do you smoke at all?
Yes.
How many do you smoke normally?
I'd say about 20.
When did you start smoking?
I had my first cigarette when I was 15.
15. Okay, and have you ever stopped?
Yes, many times.
When was the last time?
I quit last year, but it only lasted a month.
So, what were the questions about the first in the first conversation?
Ma'am, what
I'm
about
about work.
the problem and
How to work.
Can
Yes.
you tell me a bit more about this?
Yes. Okay. About the second conversation.
are
Am
your
I-
parents,
Parents still
Are your
alive and
parents still
well,
alive or dead?
and what was the
what
cause
was
of
the
death?
Yes. Can you tell me what the
What
cause
is the cause of death?
of the death was? And in conversation 3,
do you smoke?
Do you
Do you
smoke?
smoke at
How
all?
many?
Where you when you
How
stop?
many years do you make? When do you start smoking? Have you ever stopped? And when was the last time you smoked?
yes. When was the last time you stopped? Yes. You see that when the doctor just speaks about the present situation, so the questions are in the present tenses, about the past events, about the cause of his father's death, and when she started smoking. Past simple tense is used, and when the doctor asks about the period of time she is smoking, he asked how long have you been smoking, right? This is the present perfect tense, which expresses the action which started in the past and is still going on. Okay, so this is about how we should how we should ask questions